Good afternoon. My name is Inga Musselman. I am interim provost at the University of Texas at Dallas. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this convocation. Convocation is the ceremonial gathering of an academic community that both celebrates and punctuates important events in the life of a campus, such as the entrance of new students and the beginning of an academic year, the anniversary of an institution, or the bestowing of academic honors. Now, let us welcome the first-time in college freshmen, transfer students, and graduate students who are joining the UT Dallas community for the very first time. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Some of you hail from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and others of you come from countries as far away as Bolivia, Canada, China, Germany, India, and Mexico. No matter your country of origin, you will find UT Dallas rich with educational opportunities, beginning with the many, many options for degree programs in our 8 schools. Your paths and your passions will be many. If you are first-time in college freshman comets, would you please stand and give a UTD cheer? You know the whoosh. Ready? 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 UTD. Whoosh. All right. Woo. If you are transfer student comets, would you please stand and give a UTD cheer? All transfer students, ready? UTD. Whoosh. If you are graduate student comets, would you please stand and give a UTD whoosh? UTD. Whoosh. All right. Give yourselves a hand. Before I continue, let me extend my personal congratulations. Not only were you admitted to UT Dallas, but you also made the decision to become a Comet. Your choice to attend UT Dallas demonstrates that you are comfortable with innovation and change. When you choose to become a part of this community, you are no longer a spectator. Only 2 important questions remain. How will you be changed by becoming a Comet? And how will you choose to change this community? The process starts today. We are Comets. Please join me. We are Comets. We are Comets. I'd like to share a simple message with you. Thoughts about UT Dallas and change. I will speak a bit about our evolution and what it means to the institution, and more importantly, what it means to you, since you are about to contribute significantly to this continuing process. Only 50 years ago, we had slightly over 10,000 students, a little over 250 tenured and tenure-track faculty, and a limited degree offering. UT Dallas was small by many standards. We had not reached a point where we had both enough students and enough faculty to compete with the large research-focused universities. On the other hand, through the good service of our university administrators, we had quality, a mission, a strategy, and a process to take us to a more competitive position. Without that focus, our future would have been one of idle speculation. Fast forward to today. We have almost 27,000 students, about 590 tenured and tenure-track faculty. Not only have we more than doubled our student body and faculty, but we have also significantly increased our physical facility. And today, we offer significantly more academic programs. These are all physical examples that demonstrate our ability to change for the better. There is a critical underlying philosophy that supports our mission. As we move forward, we do so only when we are certain that our end result will be accomplished at the highest level of quality. This becomes the engagement point for our students, faculty, and staff, as we are all responsible together through collaboration for this strategic process. In the more global sense, we not only receive, but are also required to contribute to make this vision real. There is little room for passive behavior if we are to be successful. For this reason, we have proactively engaged you in this assembly today to celebrate your arrival and to encourage you to take full advantage of the opportunities available to you in our collaborative community here at UT Dallas. For many of you, this will be your first encounter with a formal academic convocation. Soon you will see faculty and staff processing into the activity center wearing academic regalia consisting of a gown, a hood, a cap, and a tassel. For example, my academic gown is Carolina blue, the doctoral gown worn by a graduate of the University of North Carolina. My hood features Carolina blue, my school, and signifies that I hold a Doctor of Philosophy degree. By the 3 stripes on my gown, you can also see that I have earned the doctoral degree. My cap and tassel confirm that I earned my PhD at UNC. You may not see academic regalia again until commencement, when you complete your journey at UT Dallas. When we wear regalia, we express our commitment to the search for knowledge, that we are here to serve others, and that we recognize our obligations to all of you present here today. Please know that the individuals that you are about to receive are my colleagues, and in many ways, a part of my family. I ask that you now welcome the faculty, staff, and student leaders. Please rise and remain standing for the procession. you. Please be seated. Before I introduce our Executive Vice President, I would like to recognize a few special guests. First, I ask that the 2017 recipients of the University of Texas System Regents Outstanding Teaching Award please stand. Dr. Mitek Debkowski, Dr. Robert Hart, and Dr. Sabrina Starneman. Students, these honored faculty represent a strong commitment to teaching excellence at UT Dallas. Drs. Debkowski, Hart, and Starneman, thank you for your exceptional contributions to our students' experience here at UT Dallas. I wish to you my personal congratulations on your well-deserved recognition. I would also like to recognize the faculty who are new to UT Dallas, as well as those who are taking on new administrative roles. The administrators lead and support a diverse set of activities on campus, including facilities planning and building construction, student development, faculty development, and institutional research, among others. I ask the new faculty, as well as faculty and staff in new administrative positions, to please rise together for your greeting and applause. Now for something extra special for this convocation. It is with pleasure that I announce the appointment of Dr. Jessica Murphy, Associate Professor of Literary Studies in the School of Arts and Humanities, as our next UT Dallas Dean of Undergraduate Education and Mary McDermott Cook Chair of Undergraduate Education and Research. Dr. Murphy, will you please stand? Please join me in congratulating and welcoming Dean Murphy. Thank you. Now I ask that all UT Dallas faculty and staff stand and be recognized. Welcome to the academic year, and thank you for your dedication to our students. Would all UT Dallas faculty and staff please stand? Finally, I would like to recognize a special group of students. The students who processed into the ceremony are leaders of some of the more than 350 student organizations on campus. These students dedicate countless hours of service to the university community, and soon you will become their colleagues as you work together to transform this campus. I now ask that our student leaders stand and be recognized. Now let's come back to the notion of being comets. Just what does being comets mean? Although there are likely many viewpoints, I will provide you with mine. C is for community, O for opportunity, M for meritocracy, E for equality, T for tradition, and S for service. Before the academic procession, I welcomed you on behalf of UT Dallas, a community, that's the C, of scholars, students, and staff who in mutual collaboration endow this university with rich opportunities, the O, for study, learning, research, and advancement. On another occasion, I hope to talk with you more concretely about how our UT Dallas community fosters opportunity, meritocracy, and equality, a trinity that provides the foundation for a democratic education. This convocation focuses on the T and the S in comets. Later, UT Dallas Student Body President J.W. Vandershans will explain the significance of the UT Dallas tradition, that's the T, of the passing of the mace, while our keynote speaker, Roslyn, Dawson, Thompson, will emphasize why service, the S, is essential to any educational enterprise. Thank you very much for your attention. I extend my best wishes to all students, faculty, and staff for the year ahead. It is now my pleasure to introduce our Executive Vice President, Dr. Hobson Wildenthal.
Thank you, Provost Musselman. I wish I could express fully what a fantastic sight this is. Colorful, full, dynamic. It really is something to inspire all our hearts in the administration, faculty, and staff. Y'all are the new UT Dallas. Welcome. I'm now going to give our new students their first lesson and their first exam. I'm going to introduce our stage party. It's a lengthy list of dignitaries, and I want to introduce them one by one, have them stand, and I want our audience, this is a test, to hold your applause till everybody's been introduced. It's all in our mutual self-interest. Okay, first, Secretary of our faculty, Dr. David Cardell. Dean of our School of Arts, Technology, and Emerging Communication, Dr. Ann Balsamo. Dean of our School of Arts and Humanities, Dr. Dennis Kratz. Interim Dean of the School of Behavioral and Brain Sciences, Dr. James Bartlett. Dean of the Eric Johnson School of Engineering and Computer Science, Dr. Mark Spong. Vice President for Diversity and Community Engagement and Dean of the School of Interdisciplinary Studies, Dr. George Fair. Dean of the School of Natural Sciences and Mathematics, Dr. Bruce Novak. Dean of the Naveen Jindal School of Management, Dr. Hassan Perkul. I'm sure we got some clowns around. Dean of Graduate Studies, Marion Underwood. Dean of Undergraduate Education, our outgoing and honored Dean of Undergraduate Education, Dr. Andy Blanchard. Andy, thank you for your service to UT Dallas, and we look forward to many more years of that service. Dean of the Hobson Rosenthal Honors College, Dr. Ted Harpham. Dean of Students, Dr. Amanda Smith. Associate Dean, Graduate Council, School of Arts and Humanities, John Gooch. Associate Dean, Graduate Council, School of Arts, Technology, and Emerging Communication, Dr. Kim Knight. Associate Dean, Graduate Council, School of Economics, Political, and Policy Sciences, Dr. Alex Picaro. Associate Dean, Graduate Council, Eric Johnson School of Engineering and Computer Science, Dr. Porus Balsaro. Associate Dean, Graduate Council, Naveen Jindal School of Management, Dr. Varghese Jacob. Associate Dean, Graduate Under Council, School of Arts, Technology, and Emerging Communication, Dr. Eric Farrar. Associate Dean, Council for Undergraduate Education, Eric Johnson School of Engineering and Computer Science, Dr. Simeon Nafos. Associate Dean, Council for Undergraduate Education, School of Interdisciplinary Studies, Tonya Wissinger. Associate Dean, Council for Undergraduate Education, School of Natural Sciences and Mathematics, Michael Beaver. Associate Dean, Council for Undergraduate Education, Naveen Jindal School of Management, Dr. Marilyn Kaplan. Interim Vice President for Research, Raphael Martin. Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Jean Fitch. Vice President for Public Affairs, if she's here, Amanda Rocco. And Vice President for Administration, Dr. Calvin Jameson. Thank you. And now, technology willing, it is my pleasure to introduce the President of the University of Texas at Dallas, Dr. Richard Benson.
Good afternoon. It is a pleasure to welcome a new group of students and to greet my colleagues on the faculty and staff as we begin the new academic year at UT Dallas. While I'm not on the campus for kickoff, I do join with each of you, regardless of your age or your student classification, in the anticipation of a new year. This is the 49th Convocation at UT Dallas. Not surprisingly, that corresponds with the age of the university. We were established as part of the University of Texas system in 1969. On a personal note, 1969 is also the year that I began college as a freshman. Much has changed since 1969, including this particular event. For the first time in recent history, the full spectrum of new students is represented at the University Convocation. Freshmen, transfer students, and graduate students are gathered here today. Look around you at the bright and accomplished people joining with you. Take note of the diversity. We welcome and treat with respect a wide spectrum of backgrounds and viewpoints at UT Dallas. Your experience here will be all the richer for it. From your first day in the classroom until the day when you cross the stage with a diploma, you will be studying at a dynamic, world-class university. A university that Times Higher Education just ranked as first in the nation among universities founded less than 50 years ago. I know that you had many choices for your college education. Thank you for choosing UT Dallas, and best wishes comments for a great start in this next stage in your education. Whoosh.
Thank you to Dr. Benson. I'm so excited to welcome all of our new comments to the University of Texas at Dallas. And I would now call forward J.W. Vandershans, your student government president, who will describe the ceremonial passing of the mace.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. UT Dallas has many rich traditions that you will encounter during your academic career. Tradition is important as it binds past, present, and future together, enriching our community and contributing to a shared UT Dallas experience. We will now commence the symbolic passing of the mace, an annual tradition during University Convocation. It is my pleasure to introduce two rising 2018 graduates, Daniel Siddiqui and Carlos Rodriguez Cruz y Celis.
I ask that incoming students, Allison Karup and Rahi Sanjeev Shah, please join me to represent the incoming class in the passing of the mace. This is the ceremonial mace of our great university, UT Dallas. Once simply blunt weapons of war, maces such as this one have now come to serve as symbols of power and authority for universities across the United States. As a symbol of UT Dallas, our mace is crafted out of wood taken from the treaty oak in Austin, Texas, a tree that has stood beneath each of the 6 flags that have flown over our land. It represents the stability, longevity, and independent spirit that make Texas strong. At its core, this mace contains a wafer embedded with microchips from Texas Instruments, reflecting our origin, continuing strong relationship with Texas Instruments, and commitment to advance science and technology. The metal frame was forged from a scientific instrument designed by UT Dallas and used for experiments conducted aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour. This mace represents the impressive history and promising future of our university.
Folks, this mace is a part of me, it's a part of my classmates, and it's a part of the thousands of graduates who have stepped foot on UT Dallas. And today, it becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of you and your classmates who are now UT Dallas Comets. As our university grows and matures, its success will be a part of you. And your accomplishments here and in the world are going to be a shining light for the future of the university. Now, UT Dallas welcomes all of you, the outstanding incoming class, to our home. Provost Musselman will now introduce the keynote speaker.
Like at recent convocations, the academic theme for this year's keynote speech is Service Matters. Our speaker today is Roslyn Dawson Thompson, President and CEO of the Dallas Women's Foundation, the largest regional women's foundation of the 120 women's funds worldwide. She is also the chair of the board of the Women's Funding Network, which represents women's foundations globally. A lifelong advocate for women and girls, Dawson Thompson moved in 2011 from a 25-year career owning a national marketing communications firm to leading Dallas Women's Foundation, where she had been a volunteer leader and donor since its inception. Under her leadership, the foundation has seen remarkable growth. The foundation has increased its grants benefiting women and girls from $2.5 million per year in 2011 to over $4.4 million in 2016, increased its net assets from $26 million in 2011 to $33 million in 2016, and undertaken ambitious strategic initiatives to impact women's economic security and women's leadership through research, grants, advocacy, and gendered investment of assets. Dawson Thompson serves on the Executive Committee of Prosperity Together, an initiative of 27 public women's foundations that have committed $100 million to advance women's economic security in the United States over the next 5 years. Locally, she serves on the Executive Committee and the Executive Board of Circle 10 Council of Boy Scouts of America, the Board of the Dallas Regional Chamber, and the Advisory Board of the Junior League of Dallas. Her former volunteer leadership included serving as board chair of the Parkland Hospital Foundation and as a board executive committee member of Girls Inc., YWCA of Metropolitan Dallas, and Dallas Women's Foundation. She is a member of the International Women's Forum and the National Association of Corporate Directors. Roslyn is married to Rex Thompson, professor of finance at Southern Methodist University, and their family includes 3 grown children. It is my distinct privilege to introduce to you Roslyn Dawson Thompson.
I am so excited to be here, and I'm not just going to talk about women, guys, so calm down. It's not my only subject. But I want to thank you, Dr. Musselman. I want to thank you, Dr. Rosenthal, Dr. Blanchard, all of the faculty members, but most especially I want to thank all of you. Every new comment, that is the coolest thing to be of any university I've figured out. Better than a bear, where I came from. But at any rate, for all the new comments, I want to thank you for letting me be a part of your ceremony. And I truly believe UTD is a very special place. It is young by certain university standards, and that's kind of part of its strength in many ways. I'm kind of hesitant to tell you that, the university, I'm older than this university. And, like Dr. Benson, that's a thing you hate to admit. But anyway, the UTD, over the time that I have observed it, has grown to be one of the most respected universities in this country, if not the world. And that in a short period of commentary is amazing. You guys are among the best and the brightest students in the world. And here you are in this wonderful place, and I know you've worked incredibly hard to achieve admission here, and that you deserve congratulations. So I'm going to be here to tell you to even do more. And that's what I mean. In addition to working insanely hard to achieve your academic success here, I'm asking you to do more than just study, do more than just compete. I'm asking you to serve. And I really want you to think about, as I talk a little bit today about service, about personally embracing that. It's not just something that you once a week check the box, once a month check the box, but it is something that I encourage you to embrace as the organization that you are part of, this institution you're part of, has embraced service as part of its ethos. I hope you will as well. Now, why would you focus on service? You would focus on service because you, of all the privileged population in the world, and by that I mean honestly, those of us who have the opportunity to earn a degree of higher education, we are the privileged population, and we have not only the unique opportunity to be the best in our fields, but we can be the architects of global change. And so that's really no less or no more than what service can lead you to. Now, a lot of folks would say service is the responsibility solely of the privileged class, of which we all are, quite frankly. And Warren Buffett would put it this way. He says, if you're in the luckiest 1% of humanity, you probably owe it to the rest of humanity to think about the other 99%. Well, I don't disagree with Mr. Buffett. It's a bad idea to disagree with Warren Buffett, but I think that Mr. Buffett is correct. If you're part of the 1%, you ought to be thinking about the 99%. But other than that, what I've experienced at Dallas Women's Foundation, which indeed is an organization that works for and on behalf of those who have not. It works for and on behalf of women and girls and families in this community who don't have privilege and oftentimes don't have voice. And so I believe, because I've experienced it every day at work, that what people feel the desire to give, they feel that it is important to give back. And that is not a class thing. That is not an economic thing. It is honestly a human thing. And as a human thing, I tell you, service can quite literally define your happiness, your satisfaction with your life, and your quality of life as well. So I wanted to spend today not just extolling the virtues of the investment in women and girls that I could as Dallas Women's Foundation's president, but I am going to spend a little bit of time with you today talking about breaking service down into two pieces. And the first of that is by your deciding to live in community. And the second part is by your deciding to center service in your life. So what do I mean by living in community? And at the very basic level, as the previous speakers have said, it means living in this community of UTD. It means exploring, understanding, establishing new relationships with people you meet in every dimension of the university. And this is truly a rare and wonderful place, and I think that anyone who is here is very blessed and fortunate. And this is a wonderful time in your life, to be in the university where you're free to discover ideas, cultures, experiences that are very much unlike your own. And quite honestly, the University of Life is awesome. I mean awesome. So take advantage of every moment of it. And living in the university community gives you the opportunity to engage in discourse freely and openly, civil discourse, with your understanding now more about the perspectives of your professors, the perspectives of the people that you are in class with, and that you yourself can start serving the greater good by honestly checking your own biases at the door. Now, you have a wonderfully diverse and incredibly diverse campus, and that is a great, great strength of this institution. But we've all got biases, and we don't necessarily mean to have biases, but we're all conditioned by our own cultures. We're conditioned by our religious preferences, perceived gender norms, stereotypes that are perpetrated by the media. So to live in community really means consciously facing down and as much as we can, eliminating our biases, our prejudices, the things, the limitations that we have carried around like a sack of rocks that cause us to keep some people in the acceptance side and some people in the rejection side of our lives. So living in community, I encourage you to embrace that right here at UTD, and then to raise your eyes and look at this place we call North Texas. And if you raise your eyes in North Texas, you mostly see cranes, building cranes. And certainly the further north and the further west you go, you do. We live in one of the most prosperous states and regions in the nation. And you know, I'm on the Dallas Regional Chamber Board, so I got this down. But, you know, honestly, the economics of this community are remarkable. We are the second largest economy in the nation behind California. And if we were a standalone country, which frankly some people think we are, we'd be the 10th largest economy in the world. Then bring it home to the 12 counties of North Texas, and this is really crazy. We would have, if we were a standalone state, just our 12 counties, we would be the 9th largest state in the economy and the 23rd largest country in the world. So prosperity, I mean, that is prosperity. We see it all around us. Go to Legacy West, go downtown, drive past the luxury shops, drive past the high-rise offices, the big giant headquarters. Everywhere we look, we see prosperity. And now I ask you to drive a little bit further east on Campbell Road, and then head a little bit further north, and take a look at what's going on in East Plano, East Richardson, South Dallas, go south, go west, and see what truly this community, the other part of it, is like. Now, in those neighborhoods, the poverty rates range from 30 to 34%. Do you know what poverty rate is in the United States? Professors, you may not answer this question, but do you know what the poverty rate is? It's for one person earning $11,880 a year. It's for two people, like mom-child, or two people married, to have an income of $16,020 a year. And if you're a family of three, $20,160 a year. Anybody here pay rent? And pay transportation costs? And pay childcare costs? And pay, you know, food costs? And then talk to me about those numbers. We do research on the status of women and girls and families in North Texas, and what we find is for one woman and one child to make it, pay rent, transportation, housing, childcare costs, maybe save a little bit for education, maybe, it takes $44,496 a year. 60% of our jobs don't pay that. So we've got people living in community here that are struggling, and they're struggling in massive numbers. So I want to give you just a few quick, hairy, complicated facts. One of them is Dallas has the highest wealth gap in the United States, the highest gap between rich and poor right here in Dallas, Texas. We have only 30% of our households are headed by females, but 53% of our households in poverty are headed by females. We have the highest mortality rate for women in maternity mortality rate in the United States, and the second highest teen pregnancy rate. We always go right back to back with Mississippi. We're first. No, you were first. I mean, this is not anything we want to be proud of, but we are, you know, highest teen pregnancy rate in the country in this prosperous place we live, and in some of Dallas zip codes, the teen birth rate is higher than Somalia. Think about that. So what does that mean? That means that people struggling to stay in the game, people struggling in our population actually mean that it matters to all of us. It means that these folks need our help, and that we need to live in community with the thought and the knowledge that the lived experience of those that are maybe a mile away or 5 miles away is not the same as ours. And when you can look at your world in a different way with that kind of understanding, you can't help but be inspired to serve. And with that understanding and that inspiration to service, you truly, wherever your studies lead you, wherever your career may take you, your life will be enriched because of your commitment to serve the community, to live in community, and to help meet its needs. So he's often quoted, but he said it really well, and that's Winston Churchill when he said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. And I think that's the most powerful expression I can give you of centering service in your life. So first comes family, however you define it. Then comes work, your studies, your calling, the thing that you are here to do at UTD, to learn everything you possibly can about your field so that you can burst out of here like a big bright comet and build a wonderful and fulfilling life. But then also comes service, the gifts, your gifts of time and talent and compassion. And when you give those, I swear you will receive so much more. So all I'm going to do, somehow 1969 was a theme in this conversation today, Dr. Benson, the formation of the school, and randomly I picked a date of an experience that I had in 1969, my first real experience of service. And I want to tell you a little bit about that, and I want to tell you what it taught me, and then hopefully that may be enlightening to you. So I was a teacher's aide in a half-day Head Start summer program in my hometown of Corpus Christi, Texas. And one of the reasons that I was doing pretty good with that was that I spoke Spanish very well. And one contribution I could make was to help little 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds who did not speak much English, if any, that I could help them with their acquisition of language. And I had one little boy who was like seriously my most favorite, Johnny. He was incredibly eager to learn. He was incredibly adorable. And he had the most prolific, profuse vocabulary of Spanish curse words of anybody I've ever known in my life. This required a lot of intervention on my part between Johnny and the teacher. Johnny, let's don't use that word, let's use this word. It was remarkable. So at any rate, one day class was over, and this was like 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Nice little neighborhood, but a poor neighborhood, nice little school. And class was over, and Johnny said, hey, my cousin's coming to get me. And I said, okay, great. But the cousin wasn't there by the time the teachers and the custodian wanted to lock up the school, and so I said I'd wait. And so I'm there, and Johnny and I are sitting on the school step. So this is me, and this is Johnny, and this is the parking lot. And he's telling me a story from the book that we had read that day, and he's kind of embroidered out his own little story, and it's a wonderful story, and I'm listening intently to Johnny, and then I look up, and I see 6 guys coming across the parking lot. And I know you guys don't necessarily see it, but we see it. Women see it when you guys have that tough walk going on, like your whole shoulders are in it, like everybody's like, the whole body thing's going on, but the shoulders really have it. And these 6 guys, their big shoulders are moving, and they're coming toward me and Johnny. And nobody's around, y'all. Nobody's around, just me, Johnny, and the 6 guys. So Johnny's still telling me his story, and I'm looking at him, but I'm also listening to what the guys are saying as they're walking toward us. And basically they're joking in Spanish about what's a South Side girl doing on their side of town, and they're going to teach her a lesson. And then it got more graphic than that, and I started getting kind of panicked, okay? And so I decided I would stand up, and I would try to figure out if maybe I could scoop up Johnny, figure out if I could get over to my car, find the keys, unlock the door, maybe lock ourselves in. I just wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do, but I had to stand up. And about that time, Johnny looks over his shoulder at the guy that's in the front and says in Spanish, Pete, curse word, Pete, cut it out. This is my friend. This is Roslyn. And all of a sudden, all the tension went out of the air. Johnny introduces me to Pete. Pete introduced me to Alonso and Luis. Next thing you know, I had 6 guys who were there every single day, all summer long, to pick up Johnny and to make sure you're okay, Southside. Well, what did that teach me? It taught me so much about the importance of living in community, about respecting and honoring the lived experiences of those young men, that boy. I learned that my own fear and biases were as consuming as the ones that the men had, and the little boy as the one that made us put them all aside. And I learned that being claimed as a friend and claimed by name as one who was there to help made all the difference. So now, fast forward almost 50 years, and I have, over those 50 years, never failed to center service in my own life, and I never fail to think of Johnny. So in service, you'll have the same kinds of experiences. You'll have some remarkable, wonderful, incredible experiences and know firsthand that virtually every human being has the same hopes, the same fears, similar desires, and we all seek a better life for the ones we love. And frankly, we can all make a difference in anyone's life that we want to. We can all have it in us to make the world better for all. So as you serve, you'll know why Albert Einstein, and Albert Einstein could have said a whole lot of things, right? I mean, smartest guy in the world, in the universe, could have said a whole lot of things. But what he said was, only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. So I encourage you, I beseech you to make service a big part of your experience here at the university, and I offer you my best wishes and thank you for the honor of being with you this afternoon.
Roslyn, on behalf of the students, faculty, and staff of the University of Texas at Dallas, thank you for sharing your message with us today, for reminding us that we are so lucky, and to encourage us to serve our community, whether that's here at UT Dallas, in Richardson, in Dallas, or beyond. Thank you. Students, our mission is to prepare you to be engaged, democratic citizens who serve others in a variety of ways. We are confident that if you take advantage of the opportunities you have at UT Dallas, you will leave with the ability to manage a career, deal with success and adversity, and appreciate the diversity that defines our environment. Our students are charged with carrying out the Service Matters theme, which means serving peers, the university, and the greater community. Our students have embraced this theme by volunteering in an on-campus food pantry known as the Comet Cupboard, taking part in organized service events through living learning communities and student organizations, and participating in events coordinated by the Office of Student Volunteerism. Understand that service must be freely given with no expectation of return. You will be comets in the best sense of the word. Comets, welcome to your future. Before we conclude, we would like to introduce another UT Dallas tradition, the Alma Mater. Students, the words of the Alma Mater are provided in your program. You will one day sing this at graduation. Please rise as the student musical group Novus performs.
Yeah, Liz!
UT Dallas, orange and green, founders' visionary dream, to inflame the scholars' hearts, lighting pathways through the dark, reaching out from earth to space, serving all the UTD.
Thank you, Novus. Will the audience please be seated? Thank you for attending University Convocation. Best of luck as you embark on your journey at UT Dallas. In a moment, the stage party will recess through the rear doors of the auditorium, after which our faculty, staff, and student leaders seated on the floor will also recess. Floor guests, please pay attention to our staff as they ask you to stand one row at a time. Once our floor guests have left, students, please leave from the doors where you entered, exit out the north entrance, and turn to the right to join us for the Welcome Back Bash, sponsored by Student Affairs. Please stand as the stage party exits through the rear doors of the auditorium.